Hey guys, welcome back to another Star Wars The Black Series figure review, and today we're finally going to be taking a look at Star Wars The Black Series Return of the Jedi Deluxe Boba Fett. Finally, really happy to have this guy so early, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. This guy is just really awesome. I've seen so many great pictures of him, yeah, I can't wait to get this guy out of the package. Let's look at his box real quick though. That is the back of it, and really nice artwork of the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett right there too. Really nice artwork there too. There's not, unlike the other figures that we've gotten in the past where it reveals a little teaser of the next figures coming, this really doesn't have any, so that's interesting. Unless, I don't know where that part might be from, but really nice artwork regardless though. And yeah, a lot of people were mad about the warped head, as I mentioned in the haul video, but I have a way of fixing that, I think. So I'll be showing you guys what you can do to fix that in this video. I don't want to make a whole second video about it just because I think that's kind of unnecessary. I think I can show you guys how to fix in this one. It is a review, so why not? And yeah, let's get this guy out of package and opened up. Anyways, here we are back again, and before we get into much detail with the figure himself and all of accessories, I want to show you guys first how to fix this guy. I believe mine didn't come as warped as everyone else's did. It's a little bit fine. Well, on the, what is this, the right side? Yeah, the right side is a bit fine, but the left one, it was looking this way when he was in the package, so it did get warped in there. But before I start reviewing the figure and showing you his accessories, I kind of want to show you how to fix it so we can get that out of the way. And for those who want to see that, can definitely see it already. So I microwaved this water for about 3 minutes, and here I have water with ice. I should have put more ice in there, but it should work fine. It's cold enough. So basically what you want to do is you want to grab your Boba Fett figure the way I am. Let me get closer. And you want to dunk his head in. Hopefully this is deep enough. You want to dunk his head in there for, I want to say, 30 seconds or 20 seconds should be fine. You just want to gently put his head in there, and then what you want to do is you want to grab him and then pinch his helmet inward like that. You can already see how the effect of the hot water, how I did that. So you want to pinch it like this, and then you want to use your cold water, and you kind of want to, oh, let me change the camera around this way. And you kind of want to dunk his head in there so that way it can stay in shape. But I'm kind of keeping it pinched. You can decide whether to keep it pinched while you're holding him in there or not, but I'm doing it just to make sure it stays. I don't want it going back in the other shape, so I'm not pinching it too hard if you guys are wondering. I'm pinching it sort of like normally to make sure I don't damage the figure as I go. So once you do that, you're gonna notice how the figure's face is sort of staying in there like that. And you can see how that mainly fixed most of the problem. But as you can see, it did warp it just a bit once you're doing that. Yep, I pushed it a little bit too much in there. So if you want to go back and fix that, oh yeah, you can definitely see how it warped it there. So if you want to fix that, you also can by doing the same. Again, you're working with hot water, so you have to be careful how much you're pinching it or not. But again, it's all an easy fix. It's just trial and error when you're doing this stuff. So you want to make sure it's all coming together. Like you can see a bit there. It looks a bit better like that. You can see how putting it in the hot water, it opened up a bit, so I don't really have to fix anything. The water mainly did that work by itself, so all you gotta really do is just pinch it a bit in there. Just a bit. So you're making sure that part is sticking out. The part you want is sticking out of the, in there like that. So you want to hold it like that. Making sure nothing else is warped though. You want to hold it like that and then put it immediately in the cold water. And that will sort of, oh my God, make sure that it stays in place. You can see how the back is not that warped anymore and how the front is how it should be. And for the majority, the figure is how it should have looked to begin with. It definitely looks way, way better than I thought it did. Alright, and that's how you fix your Boba Fett. And here are some before and after pictures of how it looks like after doing this method with the figure. So this is after, and that's before. You can definitely tell the differences between this guy and how good he looks now. So yeah, I hope this worked out for you guys, and I hope you, when you do it, it becomes as good as it did for mine, because it looks way better now. Alright guys, so now that we got that out of the way, now going into the figure's accessories, he does come with, let's start with the little stuff actually. Alright, so taking a look at the first accessory here, here is his wire cable thing that he does come with. And for those of you who are wondering, you can actually untie this and use it for any other custom pieces you might want to use this for. It's not totally sealed in there, so you can definitely untie that if you really wanted to, in case for you guys wondering. It kind of surprised me at first when I first saw pictures of in-hand images from this, because I did think that from the promotional pictures it was going to be more of a posable cable thing that was going to be projecting out of his hand, but it ends up coming to look like this more like wire type of thing. And if you try posing in his hand, it will fall like that, so you gotta keep that in mind. Trying to put this on the figure himself though, you're supposed to put it under, I guess this part's supposed to go underneath, like so. It's actually really loose though once you try putting it back in there. When you take it out, it's okay, but when you try putting it back in, it becomes pretty loose. I'm not too quite sure. Yeah, you're not too quite sure how you're supposed to put this, because it does feel a little weird trying to put it in there. Really loose actually. Yep, it's pretty loose, but I guess that kind of works. And then you're supposed to have it going like this. Yep, but as you can see, it's really loose. Once you take it off for the first time, I've heard other people complain about this. This piece does become very, very loose, so you got to keep that in mind. And yeah, that's unfortunate. I wish this accessory was better used, but as you can see, it's not really that functional with the figure himself. So yeah, of course, again, pretty sad about this. Cool that they try to incorporate that, but I think they could have done a better job at it. The other second accessory that he does come with that I do have a bit of a complaint with is his destroyed I forgot, I think it was a EE30 or 3, something like that, blaster. It does get chopped in half in the movie, so they wanted to make that for the figure. But as you can see, the yellow stuff comes, it looks a little bit green in camera, but it's more like this yellowish mustard color in person, so it's a bit weird. I'm not too quite sure why they used that coloring for it, and it's not that useful when you're trying to pose it with the figure, unless you want to only have him holding this and then this would be on the ground. But because of that part right there, it's kind of awkward. Trying to put this together, it's not that hard. You just snap it in there. Again, it's not really that hard to put in, but it won't go all the way in because, again, it has all that stuff in between. So again, it's a nice little piece, but I'm not sure how well that works. I don't know what you guys think of that. It's a bit weird though. I love the coloring on the blaster himself though, but just that color is a bit weird. They could have used a more of an orangey-ish color for that. So for the actual blaster itself, I really like this this design, and the whole weathering it has too. It's really beautiful. I actually really like it. I think it only missed a couple of silver tones here and there to make it look a little bit more damaged, but I get what they were trying to do with the rusted look though. But yeah, really nice gun again. And if you want to try to put that in the figure, it's not completely hard. Or actually, let's check it out. All right, so for posing the gun with your figure, it's not really that hard getting the gun itself in there, but when you do and you want to put it in a straight precision, you gotta notice that it goes a bit warped on that side, so that's a bit unfortunate. I tried putting his trigger finger inside of there, but I would have to extend the figure, and I don't want to risk breaking that, so I'm not gonna try putting it in there because I would have to extend that whole finger in there. So I'm sure there's a good way of doing it, but I don't want to take up too much time focusing on that in the video. So yeah, that's it for the blaster. Really nice addition to it though. And the next effect that he does come with is this nice little flame for his gauntlet actually, and it is for the left side, I believe. Yeah, the left side. And all you have to do is, it has a nice little plug in there, it's sculpted in there, and then all you have to do is just snap it in. But hold on, I need to make sure it's coming. Not hard to put in there. It's actually a really soft material, so again, not hard to put there at all. And if you want to pose this with your figure, it comes off looking really great. I love this accessory. I think it's pretty nice, really useful, and I think it makes sense with the figure itself. So that's a really nice addition for this figure here. Really cool actually. Now taking a look at his last couple of accessories is the jetpack, and this thing is really cool actually. I think it's better than what we thought it would be. I hear a lot of people complaining about the colors, but I don't really mind them that much. I think it's a pretty nice blend of the light colors with a little bit of the dark shade blue there. Well, it's not that dark, but I think they did a pretty nice job. These do rotate, which is awesome. Honestly, another great touch to it. So they do rotate all the way around. So that's really cool. And the rocket is actually removable, as you can see there. So it's not that hard to plug in and put in. And it's really secure in there. So you're not going to have any problem with it falling off, in case you were wondering about that. So it's going to be really nice having that there. Really awesome. And it also comes with this flame effects for the bottom of the rocket right there. And again, not hard to put in there. I was kind of twisting it so it would go in there a little bit more smoothly, but it's not that hard, I think. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit with the other side. Again, not hard at all, and it looks really nice. I think it's a really nice addition for the figure. And trying to put this on the figure himself, you have to align the ports together. And there we go. There's like almost no problem at all trying to put this on the figure himself. It's really cool. It's nicely secure in there. The cape kind of gets in the way of it a little bit, but you can kind of tuck that in there. But again, really cool. It looks amazing on the figure. It makes it, flying stands are actually going to be useful for those of you who have them on this guy, because it just looks really nice having this. I think it's a great feature. I think it's been needed for Mandalorians for a while now, and at least now you don't have to makeshift your own flames for your jetpacks, because this guy comes with them. So really awesome feature. Now finally taking a look at this figure without all of his accessories, even the jetpack, to make sure that we get his full posability available. He stands out a lot. There's a lot of stuff I didn't expect about this guy, and I just think it's really cool. Now let's start off with the head. As you can see, I did fix the head for you guys, so you guys can see how that does look. It looks a bit better. So for those of you wondering, yeah, look at the detail on this guy before we start with the articulation. Like the nice little marks of scraping paint there is really nice. We see it all around the figure too. I don't know why this has a little nice polka dot, but it's kind of weird. Everything just looks really nice on this guy though. As you can see in the light, the only problem I have with this figure in terms of color is you can very much tell this in the light itself, but the shade of green on the all around the figure is not the same shade of green that is used for the helmet. It's more of a light blandish sort of green that they used here, and I think this one's a bit more accurate than this one. But as you can see right here, they go back to that green on the rest of the armor, so I'm not sure if that's intentional, because they did use almost that type of green for the armor as they did on the back of the helmet. So that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure again if it's supposed to be intentional, but in the light you can definitely tell the contrast, but in person you can't really make it out all that much. But that's the only major complaint for the color scheme. In terms of, I think we can go into the hands. A lot of people pointed this out again too. The hands look like, you ever see how neon looks with when it's not in the dark? It looks more like this whitish, beige, no, not beige, but just whitish color that looks almost a little bit green, and then when you put it in the dark, it looks extremely green. People pointed out that this is how it looks like. It looks like but as you can see, when you get the dark in there, there's no neon. So it does look a little bit weird, but again, in person, you really can't tell at all. It's mainly like it's almost only in cameras and in video where you can see that, but in person, it's not really noticeable at all unless you have really high lights. But I think yeah, there's not really that much of a problem there. So you guys don't have to worry about that. And taking a look now at the figure and his articulation, he does have a, oh my god, was that water in there? Yep, that was water in there. There was water in the helmet from the mod. Alright, now taking a look at this guy's articulation, he does have a head underneath, and I've seen people take it off and everything to modify the helmet a bit more. I'm not really going to do that. I don't think it's completely necessary. As you can see, I fixed it pretty nicely on my own, so again, not that necessary, but he does have a head in there, so that's pretty nice, I guess, if you guys want to take off the helmet so you can paint that one in. He has nice movement on the head. He can go up and down pretty nicely, to be honest. He can look all the way around through a 360, and he even has articulation in the neck, the bottom neck joint there. So again, he can move his head all around really nicely. He is supposed to have articulation on the visor, I think, but the rangefinder, I mean. But for some reason, mine is not really going down all that much. It's sort of stuck. I don't know why, but it is. It's not that much of a problem. I wasn't gonna plan on posing him with it on all the way down. But again, kind of weird that mine came like that. I've seen other people's with no problem, but again, mine came a little bit weird, I guess. Something really, really interesting with this figure is for the first time they made this armor piece a one piece. Like, this is all together, and it's a really, really soft plastic. It's not hard like it was before on the other Mandalorian figures. This is an all-in-one piece, and it is extremely soft plastic, so that's really nice. I guess you can take this off and use it for any other figure if you wanted to, I guess, but it's really nice soft plastic, so you don't have to worry about that. The shoulder piece is part of the bottom. It's all incorporated, so you don't have to worry about that. And the plastic cape, I don't know why they went with it, but it works, I guess. It is glued onto the armor piece, you can see there. I think that's a little bit of the water. And whenever you put the jetpack on, you have to make sure this is all aligned with the holes in the actual figure. I'm not sure if mine are aligned that well right now, but yeah, you do have to align the holes together to make sure it all works. So yeah, pretty nice though. That you can definitely tell right there how the under armor is, not the armor, the body's under this armor. So that's really, really cool. Really nice touch, actually. Let's take a look at the shoulder articulation. It can't really go all that high, but you don't really need it to go all that high. I think that's a pretty good solid joint right there on its own. And it can go up, but it can't go all the way up because, again, of the shoulder armor. So you have to be aware of that. Same thing for the back part. Moving into the articulation for the elbow, it can go inward like that. You kind of have to align it with the other little joint right here in the middle of between that and the upper arm, but you can align pretty good, and you can get it past 90. So that's actually, wait, No, it's actually just at 90. I was having it up that way, but it does go on 90, so you don't gotta worry about that. And as you can see, the wires are not breaking. It doesn't show like it's gonna about to break or anything like that, so you don't gotta be worrying about that like before. The gauntlets do move, I believe. Yep, the gauntlets do have a swivel and they do move, and almost all of this part moves. And the hand doesn't rotate nicely, can go up and down too. Same thing for the other hand, and of course you have the big blaster right here and the rocket right there. Everything is nice on this figure. He does have a nice little swivel at the waist. It can go all the way around. It goes out pretty nicely and then stands up straight really nice too. The belt is really loose on the figure though. It tends to move around a lot, so you gotta look out for that, I guess. But if you wanted to pull this out, I guess you could. The red piece on the armor is sculpted in there, so kind of weird, but I don't know how I feel about that. But it's sculpted in there, so you can't really move that. It's only the belt that you can move. But just like the armor, the bottom piece is made out of a really soft plastic, and not just that, but it's tied all the way around to the back piece right here. So you can remove this, I guess, if you wanted to, but it's tied down together like that, so you gotta look out for that as well. But yeah, kind of weird but cool. And for the legs themselves, you can rotate them up, not all that much, but you can rotate them up. You can do the splits. The pockets are not hindering in the way this time, so you can do the splits on this figure. He does have a movement on the thigh, and he does have a 90 on the knee. Well, past 90 at the knee. His pants are really a little bit baggier than before on this guy though. That's what I'm noticing. In person, they do seem to be a little bit more baggier. And on the foot, he does have a nice little swivel and rotation, and it can go in and out. And it can go in nicely. So overall, a really, really solid figure. The articulation on this guy is pretty nice, to be honest. Alright guys, and here we have Boba Fett next to Darth Vader. As you can see, this is how tall Boba Fett actually is. He is a pretty bit short, I think. But it's kind of accurate. In the movie Return of the Jedi, or was it The Empire Strikes Back? He did appear a bit shorter than Darth Vader, so that makes a whole ton of sense. His visor goes up almost at Vader's forehead, and his actual head goes up at his cheek, I think. So yeah, that's how tall he is. They look great together too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, after checking out the figure, what do you guys think? What are your opinions about this figure? I personally love it. I think it's the best Boba Fett Black Series ever. I think it is a great Mandalorian figure. The pulsability on this guy is just amazing, as you can tell in these pictures. The range of motion is just awesome. The poses you can get out of this guy is just, yeah, there's no other words to it. All of the accessories make him fit really nicely. I think everything about this guy is awesome. I think he's definitely worth it. I don't think that just because of the helmet being that way warply, the way it's warped, I don't think that should be a setback for you guys, because it is pretty easy to fix, as I showed you. It takes you like 2 minutes tops to fix him. And yeah, there's not really much to say about this guy other than the fact that he's great. If it weren't for the wire and the blaster accessories, I think they were a bit I don't think they were as necessary as the others. I think the wire would have worked if it was more of a bendy type of wire, so that way you can actually use it to pose. The blaster though doesn't really do it for me. The cutted blaster doesn't really do it for me. So yeah, besides that, I think everything that came with the figure is great. Everything fits, and yeah, I just love the figure. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, and leave them down below in the comments. And I hope this video was useful for you guys in deciding whether to get this figure or not. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.